Hello everyone and welcome back to more of this year's Anime Villainous Tournament Arc 2026. Today we are going to be having the last match of round 2. It is going to be Phalkion versus Divitae. The winner of this will be our last semifinalist and will be going up against Dragonfly in the semifinals. So let's get right into the game. Okay everyone, we are in for the last match of round 2 of this year's tournament arc. Phalkion versus Divitae. I think we're about to see the dice roll. All right, this is... we have Dragonfly judging this one. What on... Or that was the most pathetic, limp roll of all time. But this is the last time we let Dragonfly judge, man. First time judging and he hits us with a roll like that. As if. We're going to see the Loxus ban from Divitae, who is supposed to let Falk ban first before doing that. And Falk will be banning Griffith. Will it still be Loxus? It'll still be Loxus. All right, yeah. There's been a good bit of Loxus in this tournament arc. He's won some games. He's lost some games, though. He hasn't been, destroying. I'm pretty sure in all of the matches up to this point, we've seen Loxus win, 2 or 3 games and lose 2 games or something like that. I got a cough. I recorded the Ezzy versus... Who was Ezzy against? Oscape? The Ezzy versus Oscape match before my stream today. Then I streamed for 3 hours, and now I'm recording this one. And it's going to be Cell against Father here, with Cell going first. Okay. Falk knows how to play a mean Cell. And Divitae, I think, did Divitae win both of their games in round 1 with Father? I want to say. So this is an interesting matchup. With Cell going first, I think it's a little in his favor. The thing is, and this is the way for a lot of Cell matchups, but especially so for this one, Cell, we're going to see a mulligan from Divitae. Cell needs to get that first android handled pretty quickly before Father can get his setup to defend his top fate. We're going to see a full discard from Falk, and then a turn 1 Mustang. That hurts, but putting him on the top fate at least is pretty good. We're going to see Divitae go over to Fort Briggs and get an early Father's Throne. Pretty good. Get Divinity out of the deck. And this fate is going to be, forced TN. You could do Crippling just to lose the power, but then he's going to get to go to Arena. So Falk is going to get another turn at Carnival here. Bad starting fates for both players. Mustang off rip with no target, and then TN force at Carnival. Another full discard from Falk. What the heck? Oh, I think you auto-mail here. Yeah, you auto-mail on Mustang. Force Mustang kill immediately. Winry could have also been good just to have another body out, especially to cover Central City. And then we're going to see the Envy into killing Mustang immediately because you basically have to do that turn. You have no choice but to go and get rid of that immediately. Falk's going to go to Arena, gain 2, and weaken Tien, and then just punch Tien out. Risk Senzu being annoying now, but worth. We're going to see Gluttony thrown down at Lior. And then Android 16 onto Arena. So this is where it's going to get rough for Falk. He really needs to get into semi-perfect quickly so that he can challenge Arena. I'm sorry, I don't know what is going on with my voice. Armstrong on the Lior is pretty good here. Gluttony's there, so can't get him with the Shapeshifter. But Father is going to keep building up some allies and getting items out. We're going to see a Promise Day here, and it's going to hit a Mannequin Soldiers. Very unlucky for Divitae, very good for Falk. But the thing is if Father hits the point where he can just, bounce Fates and really keep Arena locked down, Falk needs to get out of Imperfect before he reaches that point. We're going to see Krillin here. Don't put him at Tropical. Holy cow, I had to mute and, cough insanely. We're going to see Bug Drone here to gain 2 and then Clash Krillin. Yeah, take Android... Oh, you can't Clash Krillin here because Android 16 is out. I think Falk is realizing that now and changing his mind. It's a very common mistake to make. He's going to go to Tropical Islands instead. Gain 3 and then throw down Multiform to weaken 16. Or he could put Krillin at 0 to set up a Cell Jr. kill. It is going to be Krillin who gets the minus. And then he moves Multiform back out. And then we'll see Super... He's actually going to put Supercomputer here to do another minus on to 16. Okay. dude's going all in. He really wants to sell Junior there, like, ASAP. We're going to see Divitae go over to Xerxes, get a lot of power, and play out some cards, presumably. Just going to throw out another mannequin. Must be a bad hand. Gets rid of equivalent. And then throw... Okay, I think there was a mannequin in the discard, so that's like all the mannequins gone. I've never seen so many mannequins out before. Falk is going to throw out Bug Drone here and gain 2. And we're going to see, this could be a really good Alphonse. And he is going to choose Fort Briggs to take away the gain 1 discard there instead of covering Central City. Got Pride, got Sloth. One more. Pride and Sloth, that's a really good Alphonse hit. Father's Throne is out to immediately fix Pride, at least. And Divitae is going to go there immediately and do it. Yep. Is there going to be a... How are you discarding here? Why did all those cards? Did you... Oh, was it a Play a True Alchemy? Oh, played True Alchemy, I see. Played True Alchemy into a bunch of discards. I understand what happened. There's Goku. So Goku is here now. Probably going to cover Tropical. Really? You going to put another one in Arena? I don't know about that. I was about to say Falk can actually kill 17 here, but he can't because 16 is out. And Krillin is out. But he's not going to Arena to get rid of 16 here. He wants to get a Cell Junior so that he can get the free Cell Junior kill into Krillin and then clash 16 when he goes there. He's going to move Supercomputer back into place with Supercomputer, and then he's going to move Multiform out. He's also going to regen. He did that in the wrong order, but it's still legal if you've done it in the right order. And then he's just going to throw out Appeal to Pride. It looks like the deck shuffle for both players has not been great thus far. We're going to see Lust thrown down here, looking to get a bunch of recouping power on these mannequin soldiers. We haven't seen Hohenheim or Edward yet. We are going to see Envy dropped here. And Edward to Xerxes or Fort Briggs, really to Fort Briggs, could cause a lot of trouble for Divitae right now. Well, it might be immediately solvable by hard paying for Pride and Wrath, but that would suck to have to do that. Unless we see an Android play here, I assume we're going to see the Multiform into Goku to weaken him up more. Has Falcon not drawn any Cell Juniors? We are going to get Hohenheim here. So Hohenheim actually can block Central City. Envy isn't strong enough. Gonna need one of the 3-strengthers there, because when the 3-strengther is played to Envy. And Falk's actually thinking twice about it and just covering Xerxes for the sake of having more covers. I don't know, I kind of liked the playing it to Central City bit there, because even if Divitae does have the immediate answer, it does force a turn of just answering Hohenheim and nothing else really. Ooh, Flask is a bad pick there. And it doesn't even do anything this turn, which is unfortunate for Divitae. Falk has got to have an Android in hand by now. We're going to see Vegeta lock down Tropical Island. Won't be getting that back for a while. Falk really wants to see, Cell Junior turn here. Oh, perfect barrier, actually. And then Clash 16 through Krillin. Did Falk really not have a Cell Junior? That sucks. This does not look like it's been a very good Cell game for him at all, but it hasn't been a very good Father game either. I think the Father game has been going better than the Cell game, but still not great. Going to Lior here. You don't have a kill, so... Moving Envy into Armstrong, you could kill Armstrong if you give up Lust, but... Or just play another ally out. What is happening here? Moving Lust over to Hohenheim. And then putting Greed over there and then having Lust plus Greed kill Hohenheim. You may as well get that extra mannequin out there for an extra power from Lust. You'll get 2 here instead of just 1 from Greed. Gonna leave the mannequin. Doesn't want it in any reshuffles, I guess. I think Mei Chang already passed. Cell is at 22 power, so if Falk can get an android, which he just did, finally, if Falk can, kill these androids quickly enough, he's going to go into Showdown with, over 10 power. There's Edward and Scar. Yeah, Edward to Xerxes is pretty strong here. And then the automails are all on the discard, it looks like. Falk has done good at keeping up the fate pressure, especially with that early TN the way it went. So he's managed to keep Divitae from really opening up Lior, especially the well-timed hit on Pride. Haven't seen Pride or Wrath hit the stage yet, so this is still anyone's game. I would expect we'd see Falk going to Arena next turn and probably using Instant Transmit to set up killing 17. Because if he can get... We're going to see Sloth put back in. If he can get 17... Paying 3 here. Oh, for Philo Stone. So that way that Sloth can get the kill. And Trunks onto the bottom Fate here is really good. It makes it a lot harder for Falk to get this kill. Although I don't... Yeah, there's no way that Divitae opens this. So if Falk has an Absorb or something in hand, he can go to Arena this turn, punch Krillin, and then kill 17 next turn. And if Falk gets into Semi-Perfect on the following turn, it's going to be a really good situation for him. Oh, he's going to Ginger Town, actually, and moving out the Multiform. Oh, he can put a -1 on Vegeta because of Krillin, which is really funny. Falk knows he can't be faded here, so I guess instead of killing Krillin... Oh, he's going to Kamehameha Krillin for 3. Interesting. I guess he really wants to discard? I don't think we've seen Special Beam Cannon, so he should have an Absorb or Special Beam Cannon here, and if he has either of them, he has it. Sloth with Philo Stone is going to be able to kill Edward here, which is really good for Divitae. So both players are really doing like a lot of catch-up. Yeah, it's going to be the Special Beam into Trunks. That's even better than just doing an Absorb. And then that'll let him Fate and then punch 17, and he'll absolutely have 18 in hand. We're going to see Ling Yao here, and Falk is just going to cover Xerxes again to take away that double play while at the gain 3. That puts Falk into Semi-Perfect. He definitely has 18 in hand. So Falk has made it to Semi-Perfect. He doesn't have any whatchamacallits out right now, and he's about to hit a reshuffle, so we could see Mustang, Edward, or Hohenheim all coming back here. They discussing something? Did an illegal play happen? I'm not sure what that was about. You know what? Falk probably hit his clock and then discarded 17 because that's how QA always plays, and they might have been discussing that. So we're going to see a Senzu here. Bad time for TN. And also Shapeshifter is going to get the Alphonse kill, which will really help Divitae start cleaning up this territory. It is, however, going to trigger Appeal to Pride. Oh, yeah. The clash here actually is kind of rough. I kind of don't like it. But also, you need to start cleaning up the territory. No matter where you put 16, Appeal to Pride is going to trigger if you clash, and then Falk is going to get to... Oh, debating doing Cell Games instead to try and pull 2 heroes. He is going to go for the Cell Games instead. So that's guaranteed Piccolo, and then who do you get off the top? Hopefully not Tien. Senzu gone early is unfortunate for Divitae. Got 16 again. You can't put them both on Cell Games. Piccolo is good, though, because now even through Appeal to Pride, Falk can't go to and open Arena. And Tien is in play for a better opportunity. No, you want Piccolo at Arena. You can't put them both at Arena. That's not how Cell Games works. Is no one gonna... Not Falk nor the judge is gonna note that this isn't how Cell Games works? Well, I would really expect Falk to realize that this isn't legal. They can't both... Piccolo and 16 can't both be there. It's not how Cell Games works. Falk. And then we're going to see a Mannequin Soldier move over to Ling Yao. The Mannequin Soldiers are at 1 strength thanks to Philo Stone. And that'll be Divitae's turn. Oh, resolving Flask. Right, because Flask actually got played because of Promise Day. And they have to be discarded here. They can't be shuffled back in because you're in Shapeshifter. This is a pretty big deal, having 16 and Piccolo both at Arena here. I hope it doesn't super come into play with how this game plays out. We're going to see an absorb on Piccolo, get him down to an easy-to-kill spot, and then just clash 16. And then Divitae is going to go to Xerxes and get the second clash on Ling Yao here. Falk really wants to see Mustang or Edward off the top here. It would set Divitae back a significant amount if he could. And Lust is back at Lior. And then Ling Yao gets clashed. Moving another ally or moving the mannequin back. Okay, whatever. Not? Yes? Yes, no, maybe, I don't know. Can move the Philo Stone in and get the Armstrong kill here, unless something stops it. Umber Circle does like nothing here. Hohenheim, that'll turn off the Philo Stone. And he is going to cover up Fort Briggs and get rid of whatchamacallit. Yeah, I think at this point you just let Envy sit there and keep Hohenheim safe over there so you can hopefully hit him with an auto mail. And we are going to see 18 played 2 Tropical Islands and then move Multiform in. So Falk has Showdown potentially on board here. He can also go to Arena and open Arena on his turn with just 1 Cell Junior play. And surely he's got a Cell Junior in hand by now. I think he might be holding on to like 2 of them. Is Divitae going to go to Fort Briggs this turn or do something else? This is looking really good for Falk. I think that he definitely has the advantage here because we don't have a single war started yet for Divitae. But it's definitely not impossible to bring back if Divitae can just get Armstrong out of here and do some fate bouncing to potentially play keep away with 18 on Falk. If Falk gets into Showdown on this next turn, though, I don't like Divitae's chances. It's not impossible by any means, but it's going to be rough. It's going to be very rough. And Divitae is not going to fate this turn, so Falk is probably going to get Showdown. It's going to be Pride play. And then Pride... Oh, moving in Envy. And ditching all the mannequins to get a huge power surplus and open Lior. Yeah, so I think with so much power as well, Falk probably goes to Tropical Islands this turn. He's going to get TN'd at Tropical Islands is the problem, though, and that's going to make it rough for him. But he is going to go for it, because I think this is the better play. There's also a world where he goes to Arena, and Falk is checking what all is in the discard pile. There is a world where he goes to Arena, sell Juniors to open it, and then tries to keep Fate Pressure, tries to get Mustang quickly to kill this Pride sitting here. Because he is going to end up getting hit at Tropical Island with TN. The TN, while he's at Tropical Island, is the real rough part here. But also, if he gets into Showdown here... I think this is the better play overall because he wants to be in Showdown above all else. Because now with so much power while in Showdown, he can more than likely outspeed Divitae. And didn't even get the TN, but this is a guaranteed TN at the bottom, so Divitae will be TNing him. But it's very good for Falk that he didn't draw TN here because he got to place Trunks, Krillin, Gohan, and Mr. Satan, which are all very important for where he wants them to be placed right now. We are going to see Divitae get the war on Lior. The problem here for Falk is that Divitae is probably going to get 2 wars in these next 2 turns. So it is going to be a bit of a rush. I think it favors Divitae because with Gohan, Goku, and Vegeta all where they are, I think that Falk is going to be able to rush his objective a lot faster. But it's going to be a very close game here. The TN timing here could be the make or break. Falk is going to get to punch Goku, assuming he can kill Krillin or weaken him. We are going to see the Kamehameha for 3. That'll kill Krillin, and then he'll clash Goku. And with 16 power, if he gets Time Chamber out, or he draws into some more Kamehamehas, could be a huge difference maker. We're going to see Divitae go to Xerxes. Playing Father into a war at Central here would go really hard. It would really keep Divitae in the game. Actually going to shuffle Wrath back in. I don't know that I like this unless it's a guaranteed Wrath. Got Envy instead, which is still lets the easy war happen at Central with this much power. But I really feel like I would have preferred... and then just going to play Sloth over to Xerxes. Or at Fort Briggs, I mean. Sorry, they're at Xerxes. Didn't get another whatchamacallit there. Probably either we're going to see a Time Chamber play and then move to try and do some Kamehameha shenanigans, or I could see You're going to see a Cell Jr. thrown down. I'd move the multiform into Piccolo to keep him low. Just going to discard Time Machine here when you need the Kamehamehas? Very interesting. We're going to see Ling Yao and Gate of Truth. So it is just going to throw Ling Yao there just for the sake of, like, if Divitae wants to use the Top Fate, they have to waste their card play on True Alchemy. Not getting another war that past turn and then being able to get a third war this turn is pretty rough for Divitae. I wonder if their timing on drawing was just bad. If they're going here, it has to be True Alchemy, kill Ling Yao. Yeah, and then that's going to be a power back. I think don't you only get one power there? Or do you... I think you only get one power there from Gluttony. Oh, they also got the power from the location is what happened. Senzu Bean and Time Changer off the top. This is why didn't Falk move multiform last turn? Now Piccolo isn't easily killed. Falk. Gonna put Mr. Satan at 1 so he's not a free kill. Very fair. Falk is gonna go to Arena. Mr. Satan's gonna move over. Are we gonna see a big Kamehameha to open this location? He's gonna get the Tien kill with Cell Jr. and then we're gonna see the special beam on Piccolo for 2. Unless did he do a move and I missed it? He could have opened it here. He's doing it differently, so he only has to pay 1 for special beam cannon. Yep, and then that cleans up Arena. And then we will see the Xerxes turn from Divitae. Are we gonna see 2 Starter Wars here? I know, gonna play Greed. Holy cow, the sheer amount of power here. Can you hard play Xerxes here with a Starter War? Does Divitae not have a Starter War in hand? Is going to hard play Starter War Xerxes. This is going to be a really big race, and I think it's in Falk's favor. It really depends if Falk has the answer to Gohan or not. I don't like that Falk discarded Time Machine, because not being able to get back Special Beam or that 1 Kamehameha could cost him the game. We are going to see him go to Supercomputer. The main thing, though, is that Falk can bounce Fates really easily now. We're going to see a Cell Jr. thrown at Tropical Island. Hey, don't forget to move Multiform this time. Thank you. That misplay might actually cost Falk the game. We are going to see Mustang here, and Mustang killing Pride here is exactly what Falk wants. He's actually going to kill Envy. He's just going to live through the Fates. I don't dislike it. It means that getting the Central token is really hard now. It's probably the right play, but I also did really like killing Pride there just so that Divitae can't jump Fates as easily, because that's kind of what Divitae needs to do is stall. I'd feel a lot better for Falk if he had Time Chamber out. And we are going to see the war for 2 on Fort Briggs, so now it is just Central City, and Pride is 1 move action away. This is going to be a really close game. Double Crippling Blow is not what you want to be seeing right now. Yeah, I'd move Gohan into the multiform and get him and Vegeta separated for the, whatever it's called. That one thing. Gohan at the bottom Fate is a little unfortunate, though. We're going to see the Arena turn, and then we will just see the Cell Jr. traded for Mr. Satan. Didn't have a perfect barrier or such. He's going to disappearances and then kill Mr. Satan. Yeah, fair. And he does have perfect barrier. Falk, what are you doing? So he gets to keep the Cell Jr. there, and then he gets to Fate. It's going to be Alphonse Automail. Probably Automail on Mustang. Although Alphonse definitely isn't bad. Covers Xerxes with Alphonse, and... yeah, covers Xerxes with Alphonse, and then force that reshuffle. Did manage to hit Envy. I think you revealed 1 too many cards. Falk can't count. We won't hold it against him. So the Hohenheim is out, so the whatchamacallit is off right now and got Envy out. That's pretty good. This is going to be a very close game. We're going to see the True Alchemy kill on Hohenheim here. While at the bottom face, now you can put Envy back in. And then gain 1 and use Flask this turn if you really want to. Gotta get an ally or 2 at Central or move Pride over. An ally and move Pride over is probably the best way to do it, because if Father can just get into Showdown, Divitae can close this game. Not a great time to get Android 16. There's not going to be any clashing happening here anyway. Falk really needs a Kamehameha to try and cinch this game right now. He's going to move the Cell Jr. and he's going to go for the Cell Jr. kills. And we are going to see Edward. Edward is really rough here. There's no one over at the far right to deal with him. Edward right now might be game deciding. I don't know if Scar is in these last 3 cards. Scar could also, like, ruin Divitae here. Now Divitae is in a really rough spot because Mustang is blocking the gain 2 and move at central, which makes it a lot harder to do stuff through automail. We're going to see the spend 1 for a true alchemy to move Pride over to Mustang. I think Divitae's best play here is probably just trying to force through the automail and get the token. He needs another ally there, though, to make it happen. Putting Wrath back in. What are these last 2 fates? Goku is back, so Goku to Arena is really strong here. I imagine Falk is going to go to Arena and punch Goku. Or no, punch 16. Probably Cell Jr. into 16 or Goku and then punch the other. Kind of feel like Falk would have been better off leaving the Cell Jr. over there for a Vanquish and moving Multiform to weaken Gohan. We're going to see a Cell Jr. into clashing and vanquishing Goku and 16 here. And Divitae is going to go over to Central, needs the power to try and get to pay 2 for Sloth. So that is going to Lior, will be at 2 power. That is enough to get the war, and I assume they're holding the war in hand. What Falk gets on this fate here could be a big deciding factor. Going to move the Multiform over. And they're going to instant transmit it back. Really needs Kamehameha. If he can get a Kamehameha, he can still win this. He could have game on board if he has Kamehameha. Scar. Oh, that might be the game. It was in his favor to get it there. That might ruin Divitae here, especially with the automail still out. Because now you have to kill Scar, which means you need another ally. You need like Greed or something there for, or a True Alchemy to move over Gluttony for Pride to use as fodder. We are going to see the Scar kill using Pride and giving up Sloth to keep Pride. And then automail is still making everything more expensive here, so I'm a little worried about going straight for that kill, because if Falk gets Scar on the reshuffle, it might be a forfeit situation. And that's just going to be that turn. Falk is going to go to Arena. Still doesn't have Kamehameha, apparently. He's going to throw down Explosive to try and get it. Cell Jr. and a Kamehameha. So he can very easily set game here. He is going to pay 6 to Kamehameha, Trunks, and Vegeta. So this is incredibly potentially game on board. And then, yeah, you just put someone on the top 8. And he is going to choose Winry so he can try and get to another automail. Or Hohenheim again. Or Scar again. Just going to ditch an Umbra Circle and Armstrong. Yeah, he doesn't need any of those. Actually going to ditch Hohenheim. I feel like Hohenheim is a good potential follow-up fate because it stops Philo Stone into Divinity. But Divitae is probably holding Divinity at this point. Yeah, this is definitely Falk's game. That's the timing of where Edward and Scar came out at the end there. Oh, paying 1 for human energy. That's how you know it's over. That's how you know it's over. Double time chamber. Might buy a turn, but I think Falk might have self-destruct in hand now that I think about it. We're going to see a self-destruct win. That'd be so cool. Yep, self-destruct. And there goes Gohan. All right. Good game. Good game. It was rough on the Fate side for both players, but Falk definitely, he managed to get into semi-perfect quickly enough because the Fate order for both opponents was so scuffed, it felt like. And Divitae did really well at bringing it back, but unfortunately the Fate deck shuffle was very unkind to Divitae at the end. The timing of Edward into Scar. Even if Scar hadn't dropped there, I think that Falk might have still had it anyway. It's really hard to know for sure. It would have been like a turn off, I think. But that will be the first game going to Falk, which means Divitae will now be the starting player instead of Phalkion. And Divitae is going to ban Loxus again. Falk is a very good Loxus player. He's probably the best Loxus player on QA. It's him or me, one or the other. Falk is again just going to ban Griffith. And now Falk has to let Divitae counterpick him, so he has to reveal his pick here. What is Falk going to play? Toguro, my man. That's my guy right there. That's my dude. Who is Divitae going to counter Toguro with? You want someone who's fast. You basically just want anyone who's quick, but can also recover from being faded, because well-timed 80% from Toguro leads to like 3 fates back-to-back. It's going to be Diaboromon. They're going to make me commentate my 2 dudes. No! How could this happen? I'm not really sure who's favored in this matchup. This might be pretty even. I want to say it's probably a little favored for Diaboromon, especially with Diaboromon going first, because Diaboromon can get his forms out faster than Toguro can get 3 allies out. But as usual with Toguro, a good bit of it is going to come down to challenger pile shenanigans. Diaboromon's usual advantage of going first, of getting access to Tokyo Bay, isn't as strong against Toguro. But I'm honestly not sure. A lot of it is going to come down to... Falk is going to mulligan here. A lot of it is going to come down to Falk's new challenger plays, when he draws them and what he gets with them, and Diaboromon's form timing. We're going to see Karamon put back in with Kurumon's ability to try and draw into Sumamon. And we are going to see a countdown. I don't think countdown is very good in this matchup. Between rules set and the action layout, we're going to see a basic data in the discard, but between rules set and the action layout, I think Toguro is very consistently going to be gaining a power. We're going to see a hard play of Toya turn 1, and then probably the discard. Using Toya to discard both copies of High Stakes Bet. Don't like having those early. And then we'll see a data overload, so you get to force Divitae to take the military network turn here. Not a good first fate, but it is what it is. You see Divitae gain the 2 at military, and then play out 2 cards, presumably. Going to be another basic data. Yeah, this isn't too bad. This is a pretty good turn 1 fate for Divitae, all things considered, because this turn isn't too bad. We are going to see them multiply into another basic data to just get more pieces on the board. Falk is going to go to Wilderness. It should be fairly easy for Falk to play a round countdown the majority of the game. Ooh, unfortunate pull of Bui with Elder Toguro, but actually it doesn't matter because he just puts Bui back in, or even discards Bui and then plays Elder Toguro. He could actually play Bui. Playing Bui to Hiei here wouldn't be the worst, but I was about to say, I think getting Elder Toguro out is worth more. I don't know about spreading him out to all 3 locations immediately, though. I don't really like that. I don't really like that, because now every discard card is in play. I probably would have put Rinku at Kubakakiri and Urashima maybe at Wilderness. Urashima at First Arena is fine, but I just don't I don't like making it where every single ally discarder. I think Falk accidentally hit the button twice and drew like a bunch of cards. He like hit to draw 2, but he drew like 20 or something. Happens to the best of us. Yeah, this is a good time to go to Tokyo Bay now and take advantage of this still open top fate. Discarding a Cable Crusher. Both items at once, that's a good sign for Falk, because the opponent really wants to see those separated, because they're both pretty powerful fates. Kind of surprised that you'd choose Koenma over Botan here. I think choosing Botan would have been more worth Divitae's time. We're going to see Falk take another discard. Discarding Karasu instead of hard playing him here. Oh, he's thinking about it. And he's going to discard Bui, and he's going to play a rules set to gain 3 and move Elder Toguro back to himself. Fair enough. Probably going to put it on Rinku because he wants to try and buff Rinku. Really going to want to pull Gamma or something like that. And then we will see Metal Garurumon and Omnimon. There's really no reason not to throw out Omnimon instead, because his ability could potentially come into play with Destined Bond, whereas Metal Garurumon's won't. Metal Garurumon he'll be back in the next Avengers movie, don't worry. Divitae is getting a lot of pieces out, but still hasn't gotten Sumimon yet. So having all of these things available once Caramon and Inframon happen is going to really help Divitae speed up there, but you'd much rather see an earlier Sumimon. We're going to see another multiply for other basic data. You'd much rather see an earlier Sumimon into Caramon so you could get into Inframon faster, because that's a bit more worthwhile. This is giving Falk a lot of time to get heroes on board potentially, and then might be able to stick Divitae in the Inframon phase for a while. Falk is going to go to Wilderness. He has an insane amount of power right now. He's going to buff Rinku with Elder Toguro again. We're going to see Momotaro, so Momotaro will start buffing up from Rinku as well. So this is a good insurance if Spirit Wave or Eden Box come out and mess up what Falk has going on here. The other one can then do it. Momotaro has to get a +1. I think it's mandatory. You don't have a choice. There you go. Are we going to Cable Crush here? I don't know about Cable Crushing open the top fate here. Not in this matchup. If you want to fate this turn, I'd probably just take the internet turn. But I mean, you could go for a bit of a Fate Storm. We're going to see Kuramon's ability for a big draw. Falk is going to be shy 1 strength of being able to kill Yusuke here, even with Elder Toguro, though. On Rinku and Momotaro. He's going to need at least 1 more turn unless he does some Gamma nonsense at first arena. And there is Eden Box that'll kill Urashima and nuke down Rinku. You don't want to nuke down Momotaro because of his ability. Yeah, so Urashima dies, and then either Momotaro or Rinku goes down to 0. Elder Toguro. I would have hit Rinku there, but Elder Toguro it's fine. We're going to see an 80% power. That'll put 1 on Elder Toguro, and then that one from Elder Toguro goes to Rinku. This is really good for Falk. He also has Toya at 4. I think he's just going to give up Toya early. He's going to put it on Rinku, and that's going to put Momotaro at 1, and then next turn he can go to Final Arena, assuming no Genkai and do shenanigans. Brave Resolve is going to get Metal Garurumon back out on that top fate. Divitae does have internet open to try and stop this. It's going to be rough, though. I'm not sure. The main thing you can do with fading here is getting Genkai on the top fate so that it doesn't allow the really good Final Arena fate turn that Falk wants. I think that'd be worth. I think playing Genkai would be worth even more than using Spirit Wave to discard here, to be honest. Hard playing Control Orb. Yeah, I don't think Countdown is going to go off in this matchup. Toguro gains power just about every turn. Spirit Gun will weaken Rinku and Momotaro, which means Falk can't get his really good turn this turn, but he can set it up for next turn. And then Divitae doesn't have the power to Cable Crush. So yeah, Falk is safe to go to Wilderness and play a new Challengers here, and then take his Final Arena turn the following turn. He's going to go to Final Arena anyway. Why? Yeah, I'd get Angelwomon out here. Just move more stuff away from Tokyo Bay. From apartments in general. Control Orb can fix this pretty easily. Imperial Dramon only nuking 1 power when you know Paladin mode is going to replay him later. Whatever. Oh, is he just going to... He's going to use Elder Toguro and have Toya do the Yusuke kill. Fair enough. He can very easily have Elder Toguro buff up Rinku and Momotaro. He might not have a new Challengers in hand. I think I would have taken the Wilderness turn and done another new Challengers instead, and then you would have gotten another turn of 80% throwing a +1 on whoever you played at Wilderness. But this is still good as well, and you very easily, via Elder Toguro, have the setup on Rinku and Momotaro. Coming up here, we're going to see the Digivolution. Sumimon very low at the bottom. Very unlucky for Divitae. Very unfortunate. And Falk is going to go. Now's a pretty good time for him to do some Fate Storm. He's going to play another 80% and then give it over to that. And then Momotaro is going to be at 5. This is going pretty well for Falk. We're going to see Angemon here. I could see Angemon at Military Network and then putting Omnimon at Tokyo Bay. Or Omnimon at Internet just to take away the gain power there. Yeah, putting him at Tokyo Bay. You want the best place for Angemon and Kabuterimon. The best place for Kabuterimon is Internet or Apartments because it messes up the Karamon phases. The best place for Angemon is always Military Network in Tokyo Bay because it means that getting an Inframon clash is very unlikely. And that'll be Falk's turn. We're going to see Internet from Divitae here. Going to shuffle in Armageddonmon with Kuramon's ability. Draw on almost the entire deck. Should have Karamon in hand, theoretically. So probably going to play Sumomon here and then have Karamon ready to go at Apartments next turn. Falk can very easily take another strong final arena turn here, assuming Genkai doesn't get slammed down. Genkai here would be really good for Divitae. Dragon of the Darkness Flame is even better, perhaps. The one weakness Falk has right now is that he does not have a bunch of stuff on board. He really needs to get some new challengers out. I don't know how many allies he has in this right now. But Dragon of the Darkness Flame is going to stop him from doing any shenanigans. I think Momotaru should be... No, Rinku's at 4. Never mind. I thought Rinku was at 5 for a second. He's not at 5 yet. Falk will still be able to put one of the +1s from Elder Toguro onto Rinku, and that'll still buff up Momotaru even through Dragon of the Darkness Flame. And we definitely will not be seeing a Fate from Divitae this next turn. So Falk is pretty free to go to Wilderness or First Arena even, set up getting rid of Dragon of the Darkness Flame, and then go take his really strong final arena turn to put in Rinku, probably, and get another Fate, another top Fate off. We're going to see him... He's just going to hard play Bakken and Ichigaki and give the countdown here. I think that Falk might have been getting very unlucky with his new challengers, it looks like. Moving Momotaru. Why? Just because Momotaru can kill... What's-his-face? Gonna play a premium data. Falk's gonna want to get rid of that ASAP, because Karamon's about to hit the board. I think Kabuterimon is one of the Fates in here, and I think there's another deletion, so that's definitely what Falk is gonna want to see on his turn. Moving the special data via Control Orb. Catastrophe Cannon to gain 2 and then play Karamon. Okay, we really got a game here because Falk only got 1 in before Karamon hit, and Karamon is set up to get through Inframon really quickly. So Falk is going to lose Bakken and Ichigaki here almost assuredly. To get rid of Dragon of the Darkness Flame. He will get to take that top Fate turn now. Oh, he's actually going to go do it at the bottom Fate. Is he just not going to take a Vanquish this turn? There's a new challengers. All of his new challengers were in the bottom. That's rough. But now he gets a really good hit here in exchange. Only place you've allowed Suzuki here is going to be at Kuwabara. Well, I almost wonder if... I wish he hadn't moved Momotaru the way he did. I think it would have been better for me. He's going to put one on Suzuki here. Is he going to give up 80% power? He's going to put in one of the new challengers back in. Falk is awful about shuffling his decks. Hasn't used Elder Toguro yet. He's going to get Rinku up to 5. He's going to use he's going to put... No, you got 80%, Falk. Falk. I was in a call with him before this earlier today, and he mentioned that he was probably going to play like Toguro, and I was like, oh yeah, play Toguro. And he said, yeah, I played him so much in testing, I feel like I know how to play him optimally. And then he's over here not taking into account 80%. Oh, Paladin mode with Kabuterimon is very unfortunate. That is very unfortunate for Falk. He's going to be able to take away that gain 1 and weaken up Karamon, but this premium data is going to make up for it in spades. The positioning of those new challengers all at the bottom for Falk really messed him up. No, you give up the premium data here. What are you even thinking about? That's a 6 power premium data there. You got to take that before a deletion or a Brave Resolve Kabuterimon messes it up. Yeah. You're going to see a special data thrown down over at Apartments. Maybe not. Catastrophe Cannon, gain 2, and then put it down. All right, yeah, fair enough. And then a Fate. We still got a couple of the ally discarders. Fly Swatter on Elder Toguro is really good here. Falk is going to get to go to Final Arena, and I'd probably put Rinku in first. He might have a rule set, actually. Rule set, Vanquish, Rinku, and Momotaro both in. Falk kind of needs a play like that right now to get back in the game. He's falling behind. His early game was strong, but his mid game has been not strong. So he's going to 80% first, gain 1 in Fate. I think you technically have to Fate first before you do anything else. I think Dragonfly is telling him that. When we did testing, we never cared the order you did it in because it never really changed much, but it is how the card is supposed to work. We're going to see him put down Kabuterimon at Apartments with Brave Resolve. It does mean Kabuterimon is easy for Infamon to punch, but it is going to make these next, 2 turns moving back there really weak for Divitae. Moving Momotaro to get an extra power from rule set because Momotaro can kill Hiei here. Yeah, we're going to see a rule set for 4 and put in Rinku and then the Vanquish with Momotaro. Hey, you should put him in the Challenger pile. Falk, I got to talk to Falk about Toguro after this. I don't. He hasn't played him since testing, I think. He doesn't remember how this villain works. We're going to see the basic data gotten rid of here just to gain 3, and then this is going to put Divitae at 14. A little shy of playing Infamon. This is looking pretty good for Divitae, though. In a fairly strong position right now. You're going to go ahead and throw out a Mass Clone to try and set up Infamon being completed easily. Andrewomon is in play. We're going to see Falk go over to Hotel Kubikakiri. He really needs to be hitting those new challengers fast here. He's also going to pay 1 for Chew. Definitely wants to be given... Oh, he's actually going to get Chew straight up to 4 to put him in with Jin. Yeah, I don't dislike that at all. He's got to rush really hard here. He really wants to be seeing Bui. What is happening? Oh, he's going to challengers first? Falk is so bad at ordering in this game. All right, hit 2. Not too bad. Not the best new challengers he could have gotten, but not too bad. He's going to put that there for Suzuki moving into Risho turn to buff up Shishiwakamaru and Risho really quick could be really good. And then Chew will go in. So Falk is at 4. This is going to end up being a very close game. I think it's going to come down to how quickly Divitae can hit that... whatever it is I'm thinking of. Risho is going to get the +1 instead of Jin, and then Falk is actually going to play him at Kurama. Yeah, Falk's just going to go for maximum heroes here instead of going for deletion. Oh, he's thinking twice about it. I was about to say I wouldn't mind deleting the special data here to stop the extra play a card. So I don't think it's possible for Divitae to set up Infamon this turn, but next turn Divitae can easily set up Infamon. And we are going to see Infamon played. Going into Infamon with low power, which can matter for the Armageddon phase a lot. We're going to see a Spirit Wave, which can't hit anyone. Spirit Gun wouldn't be the worst here, but probably just play Genkai on a Final Arena. Now's a really good time to stop Falk from being able to gain that extra... or take that extra Fate action. I don't know. No, I don't like that. I don't like that. Very easy to play 80 per... This is maybe the worst place to put Genkai. The best place is Final Arena. I think putting Genkai at First Arena can also be pretty strong in some situations. In the mid-game like this, putting it at... he's going to move Shishiwaka over there. That's not how Shishiwakamaru works. He's thinking of Urashima. That's not even how Urashima works. He's going to move Jin out, which is going to give Shishiwaka more. And then he'll get to move Jin the rest of the way. I have no idea what's just happened. Okay, he did the rules set to move Jin all the way over, and then he moved Suzuki out, and that buffed Shishiwaka up to 5. Okay, I understand what happened now. This is going to be a very close game. Let's see if Divitae remembers to clash Kabuterimon here. It's one of the hardest skill checks in all of Diaboromon's kit. Risho is very easy to get strength on. Doesn't get to use the special data's ability here because of Kabuterimon. But does get to clash Kabuterimon. I think both Destined Bonds are in here, as well as a Data Overload. So it should be pretty easy for Falk to... I don't think the Divitae is going to be able to set up Infamon this turn anyway. Still missing one piece. So I wonder if Falk will Fate here and is going to remember to clash Kabuterimon. Skill check passed. Falk is going to go for the Fate here. This would be a great time to 80%. Yeah, and then punch Genkai. Destined Bond and Brave Resolve. Probably just Destined Bond Angelwomon to Tokyo Bay, even though it opens up apartments this turn. And send both of these way over to the left. Oh, I'm actually just going to do Omnimon to discard the Mass Clone straight up. Yeah, that's good too. It keeps... I think I like that more even. It keeps apartments closed. I think it was a bit of a misplay putting Genkai there, but it is what it is. We're going to see the special data moved. This will give Divitae another play a card. Spirit Wave and Genkai. I don't know what these last two cards are, but it's not going to be Spirit Wave or Genkai. So Falk can go for another Fate here. There's at least one Destined Bond in here, and I think there's a deletion. So he could potentially delay Divitae by at least one more turn, getting into Diaboromon. The problem is if Falk is making any progress while doing that, because he can't stall too much. He really needs to get these last 3 kills. This is gonna be a bit of a nail biter, I think. It's really gonna come down to... Yeah, this doesn't set up the Infamon. Oh wait, does it? Does have enough to get Infamon set up to get out of here. I didn't think he had enough plays there. I miscounted. And then the Fate is going to be Darkness Flame Sword, which is just going to kill someone. So someone dies. Probably Jin. Yeah. So what Falk really wants here is Final Arena, Fate, new challengers. And then everything in Togoro's Fate deck is back in play here. Yep, going to gain one and then go for the Fate. Does get deletion and Destined Bond. You probably delete the premium data here. Yeah, that's too important of a piece to leave in play. I don't know what these last 2 Fates are. That was the Destined Bond and the deletion, so might not be able to stop Infamon with the next Fate. I'm not sure. And we are going to see Falk just play Gamma and then move into Risho for 2, which is going to get him his 6th person. Ooh, man. What he really wants to see now is Reigning Champion and Bui. This is going to be very close. The game might actually just come down to if Falk can get another challenger in before doing Reigning Champion. Because I think, and therefore I think he can probably outspeed. We're going to see the Digivolution play because it's free to put in Kurumon, and then you can just discard it with the ability. Catastrophe Cannon to gain 2, and then do a discard action. So Infamon did not set up the Infamon discard here. Might not have been able to. Very unfortunate for Divitae. Very, very unfortunate for Divitae. Just needs one card play to put it at Tokyo Bay and then move one of these items to military. Falk is going to take another Fate here, and he's going to hard play Bui. I would put Bui at Wilderness because then there's only one card that can discard him. I don't like playing him at Hotel Kubakakiri. The reason he's playing him at Hotel Kubakakiri is he wants to try and only take 1 turn for Bui. This is Brave Resolve Data Overload. If you have an ally to play... No, you don't have the power, though. Data Overload into Tokyo Bay isn't bad here, but also getting War Greymon on the board, and so War Greymon isn't on the reshuffle where you could get deletions and Destined Bonds, isn't bad, but you get faded in exchange. I don't know what's better here. I think I'd probably play War Greymon and get him on the top Fate probably to really lock it down. But I could also see Data Overloading Infamon to Tokyo Bay to ensure that your Bui can't be messed with for a turn. But it is going to be War Greymon to Tokyo Bay. I think that's the better play overall. You're going to see Infamon move the special data over. Not moving it all the way to Tokyo Bay here, huh? It doesn't matter. You're just going to play a Mass Clone. That's better. Then an extra play a card. You want to put another item or ally at Internet so that way Data Overload can't stop Infamon. 8 cards on the reshuffle. Ooh, not putting it here means that there are 5 cards that could stop this. 2 copies of Deletion, 2 Destined Bonds, and Data Overload can stop this. Oh, but Falk can't fade anyway. Oh, Dragon of the Darkness Flame is really unfortunate. I'd probably do Dragon here. Fly Swatter on Bui isn't bad, though. Falk's going to Wilderness no matter what, I think. See, Falk, this is why. Why did you put Bui at Hotel Kupa Kakiri? Because now he's a target for Fly Swatter. It would have been better at Wilderness. I don't know. That's probably the better play because Gamma and Suzuki are really easy throwaways for Dragon. But I don't love it either way. And then Falk has no way to fate here, so Infamon is going to get out of it. New challengers, I assume? You're spending 2. What are you doing? I think it's a little in Divitae's favor here. Playing a high-stakes bet and discarding Karasu. I probably would have played Karasu to Final Arena to try and set up moving there and then buffing Gamma back up and moving someone into a Vanquish. You're not going to be able to do that with that being Hiei there, though. Why do you draw like that? All right, so this is going to be Diaboromon for Divitae. And Divitae has a very nice Apartments turn to gain 3 and kill Angelwomon. Potentially throw out a Catastrophe Cannon either via ability or just from hand to kill Garurumon or Greymon. And this is enough mass clones to kill Omnimon. I definitely think it's looking in Divitae's favor, but it could still go Falk's way. We might be seeing a game 3. Gonna discard to move basic data. Discard countdown to move over the basic data. And then discard it for catastrophe. Not from discard. You have to play from your deck. And you have to play the effect before you resolve basic data. If you even have an effect to play. Doesn't have an effect to play. The deck's too small. Where is Armageddon in this situation? Playing straight in Armageddon right now would not be bad. Why is the basic data being discarded? Oh, we do have an effect. And it's going to be multiplication. Just to get the basic data back out. And then trigger it to shuffle in catastrophe. All right, yeah, fair enough. And then I don't think you're too worried about high stakes bet here. You just kill Angelwomon because you just need to get everything off the board ASAP. Using Catastrophe Cannon to gain 2 and do a Vanquish action with 2 of the mass clones on War Greymon. And then clashing Angelwomon, and that will trigger the high stakes bet onto Suzuki. Onto Suzuki instead of Gamma here. Interesting. Falk still needs 2 in the pile. If he only needed 1 in the pile, I'd feel a lot better. But he's just going to play Elder Toguro and go for a Fate. This could definitely be Divitae's game. We're going to see Kabuterimon, so that's just another hero out. Cover up Tokyo Bay. Divitae has enough to play Armageddon. Falk is very close to getting the second ally in, or the second to last ally in. But we're probably going to see a Fate from Divitae here. I could see a turn where Divitae goes to Tokyo Bay, plays Armageddon, nukes 4 items to kill Metal Garurumon, and then just clashes Omnimon. It would put a major timer on Falk. A Brave Resolve is already gone, so I really wouldn't hate it. Get into Shota, and then you just need like 2 item plays. 1 mass clone into Kabuterimon kills Kabuterimon. Stuff like that. Yeah, I did a Tokyo Bay Armageddon I think I'd actually really like here. But it's going to be Military Network instead and just throw out another mass clone and kill Metal Garurumon, presumably. And then clash Angemon. This is potentially game on board. I don't know where all of the whatchamacallits are. Gamma's gonna get 1 from Elder Toguro's ability, and then Suzuki's gonna go up to 4 via rules set, and then Suzuki's gonna go up to 5 with Elder Toguro. Or no, just move Suzuki over and get the Vanquish, because Elder Toguro went into Gamma. Yeah. I think Elder Toguro should be at 1 because of the Gamma play. I'm not sure. I assume Falk has been holding reigning champion this entire time, so he's probably going to go to Hotel Kubukakiri and reigning champion in Elder Toguro. I think he's too far behind, though. Unless Divitae gets, like, the worst, like, draw/shuffle known to man. But this is really Divitae's game to lose at this point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just needs 2 items out to be able to use, and we're going to see the Catastrophe into Omnimon. Honestly, you might... It's just 1 Brave Resolve out of 8 here. I could see ditching all of the cards for Imperial Dramon right here, to be honest. But this does set up game on board. That's going to be game. The only play that could potentially save Falk here is put Kabuterimon at Apartments, but it probably doesn't matter. Yeah, so now Divitae just goes to Tokyo Bay, abilities Imperial Dramon, and then clashes Kabuterimon. He realized that was the only way he could potentially last another turn. But if he doesn't have 80% to use the top fate, it doesn't matter anyway. We are going to see the reigning champion. And it's Genkai, so that's super game. Genkai just goes on to Final Arena and it's over. Falk won't be able to fate next turn. Why would you put Genkai anywhere other than Final Arena here? What are you doing? I think Falk's going to lose anyway, so it doesn't matter, but you set up the only way. Well, you might just have game here anyway if you just have 2 mass clones, so who cares? Oh, or Catastrophe, that'll do it. So it didn't matter. If it didn't matter, why'd you even think about where to put it in the first place? All right, very close game. I think Falk's positioning of those new challengers really ruined his mid game, and he just couldn't make up the speed that he had there. If he had even just 1 or maybe 2 of those new challengers in that mid game instead of 3 of them being in the bottom 10, I think it was, then honestly, he probably would have gotten those last 2 allies into the pile about maybe as early as 3 turns sooner. And 3 turns is about all he needs, especially if those new challengers gave him more pieces on the board. That's about all he would have needed to clean up the showdown before Diaboromon, potentially. But there's no way to know because that's not how the game played out. So, new challengers giveth and new challengers taketh away. But that does mean we're going to get a game 3. And in the last game... Sorry, tickle my throat. In the last game, Falk will be the starting player again. So I think we're also going to have a little jump cut here because it looks like we are taking the incredibly common Annaville tournament arc game in between game 2 and game 3 bathroom break. So I will see you all again in just a second for you, probably a couple of minutes for me. All right, we are back, and Falk is now our starting player, so he's going to ban first, and he's just target banning Griffith the whole way through. I think Divitae plays a good bit of Griffith. Who is Divitae going to pick to get countered? Well, they're going to ban Loxus first. No Loxus allowed. No Griffith, no Loxus. I should put Griffith and Loxus on the thumbnail just because they got banned every game. Wouldn't that be kind of funny? There's no way I'll remember to do that. But just imagine that I did and have like a hearty chuckle like, oh, that Chaos, he's so clever. Put it in the live chat for me. Divitae is thinking very hard about who to pick here. Griffith is a good pick for getting counter-picked, so that's probably Divitae's normal go-to for this situation, but doesn't get to do it this time. And Divitae will be choosing Father, so we are going to see another Father game. Falk won his Cell last time, but it was decently close. There were 3 tokens out, but a lot of heroes. So I was about to say, will we see Cell again? And we will. We're just going to see a repeat. I was wondering if Falk might choose someone differently. Falk went first as Cell before as well, didn't he? I'm pretty sure he did. So he's just really hoping for a repeat. Falk did have... both players had... some not great luck in the first round of this game. I actually think that in the early game, Divitae had a bit more luck, although the TN play happened actually, so not that much luck. But also, Divitae got like turn 1 Mustang, which is something you want to see his father. And Falk didn't get an android until he was in like his bottom 10 cards, so Falk is definitely going to want to see some earlier androids here. For sure. Oh, they're making sure that their clocks are set. And Falk will be starting off by going over to Arena. Must be a better hand than last time because he went straight to Arena instead of Carnival. He's going to play both explosives for 0 just to get him out of his hand. Almost a discard action. Double automail, and we saw him shuffle that. Holy cow, that is very destructive. Not having an automail in there as a threat is also very rough, and Divitae getting to go to Lior turn 1 is really bad for Falk. We're going to see the Flask discard. Get that card out of here. That sucks. That card is awful. Double automail. That you hate to see that. You hate to see that. Divitae's going to shuffle back in True Alchemy, and then do we have a turn 1 Promise Day? Nope, just going to get Greed at Lior to defend it. What's this first fate going to be? Ooh, Tien while you're at Arena. Oh, this is really bad for Falk. Is that the same fate from the first game? I think it might be. Falk just ends his turn. He doesn't even have a play a card. Divitae thought that the clock just didn't work. Oh, this is awful for Falk. I feel bad. Double automail into Tien at Arena with no play a card. That's atrocious. Lust? No Philo Stone. So that top fate is already very defended early. Yeah, this is already looking really good for Divitae. And then we're going to get Goku onto Arena. It's not over until it's over, but man, it's looking really bad right out the gate for Falk, essentially having to skip a turn. Armstrong is about the best pull you can get here other than Hohenheim onto Lior, so at least he's got that going for him. Divitae's going to go over to Xerxes and play out a Human Energy, which means that they deserve to lose, as far as I'm concerned. Could get a War here really early with Greed, but actually just going to hard play Wrath, which I respect. We could see a War into Wrath killing Armstrong would be pretty good. Falk is going to head over to Tropical Islands. He's going to get regen for 4, and then he'll also get to gain the 3 at Tropical Islands. He's going to get another 3 from Disappearances, so he should, be at 11. And that'll be his turn. Divitae's going to go over to Fort Briggs. Yeah, play start a war here. Not getting early wars is what really messed you up last time. Yeah, so that's a free war. Ooh, and then Vegeta onto Tropical Island. Or Carnival, but... yeah, Carnival's probably better in this instance. I prefer Vegeta at Tropical Island because Trunks is better at Carnival, typically. You're going to see a Cell Jr. thrown down over at Arena, followed by another Fate. Umber Circle isn't doing a lot here. Going to put Riza down, which would protect Armstrong from the Wrath kill, but actually going to put Riza at Fort Briggs. I don't think I like that very much because that's a very easy shapeshifter kill, even if it does take away that gain 1 for a turn. And it is going to be Riza to Lior in the end. Divitae is going to go to Central City anyway. Could see a double kill here with True Alk and Central just to clean the territory because the top fate is so locked down anyway. Ooh, hard play Pride. So Pride will kill Riza here at the cost of Greed. This is really good for Divitae. That was just an awful, and then move Wrath over. An awful first fate for Falk, both on his end and on fating his opponent. That's just something really hard to come back from out the gate. Falk's going to throw down another Cell Jr. and then discard a bunch of cards. And then also Goku and Vegeta staggered in the first 3 fates. Holy cow. This is like an atrociously bad Cell game. And a really, really strong Father game as well, like the early Pride and Wrath. And Envy? What the heck? Are these decks set? Senzu back out Krillin here as well. Over to Gingertown? I don't think I could have made a better fate order for Divitae if I tried on both sides. I guess the second fate could have been double Umbra Circle, if anything. Gonna weaken Goku with Multiform. Gets Hohenheim here. Nah, Hohenheim at Central. Because Envy can't kill him anyway. I think Hohenheim at Central is better, because now you can just play into getting the Vanquish. He heard me? He heard me? He heard me. Gonna move Wrath? Is gonna move Wrath. But if Divitae gives up Wrath and Envy for that, that's fine. Gonna go to Xerxes and get the token first. It'll cost 2. Gonna play Greed, actually. And then get Father's Throne out, even though it's not on right now. And discard out a Mannequin. Nothing's impossible, but I find it very hard to believe that Falk is going to be able to pull this back with how this game is played out already. Going to gain five from disappearances, discard, and then kill Krillin. Divitae is going to go to Central here and do the war before killing Hohenheim. Free war and then give up Envy and Greed for Hohenheim here, I'd say. And then honestly, I would gain 2 and move Pride. Who cares about the top fate? Nah, I'd leave Wrath. I'd move Pride over to Xerxes. If you just rush this next start of war, it's like the game is kind of already on lock, but it's super on lock if you do that. We're gonna see Tien die to Double Cell Jr. here. And then 3 Special Beam on Goku. All right, this is maybe the only way Falk can bring this back is an insane level of Fate Storm here. He needs like a Mustang right now. Mustang kill Wrath. There's Mustang. Oh, maybe you still kill Pride though. I think you kill Wrath because you're hoping to get Edward soon, and then you Edward to Fort Briggs. That's kind of what you need, that kind of Hail Mary to bring this game back. I think. But two tokens down, and then there's Gluttony as well. Gluttony didn't shuffle low. Dude, I don't think this game could have gone any better for Divitae. Holy cow. It's not over. It's not over. But man, it feels over. Yeah, Piccolo to the top fate here. Divitae has a token on board next turn, as well as killing Mustang. We're going to see the 18 play into getting 18 to -1. If Falk, there's Edward. There's Edward. Mustang and Edward, like I said, it's not over. Especially because this is double blocked. But man, it's still looking really rough. If Falk can kill 18 quickly enough, there's hope. But man, he'd have to kill 18 really, really fast. Like insanely fast. We're going to see a pay 3 for Lust here. To try and get someone set up to deal with Edward. I don't remember what's in this Fate deck. Falk's not going to be able to Fate on his next turn anyway. Playing Shapeshifter here is interesting. And using it to move Pride, yeah. I think you should have moved Pride a turn or two ago anyway, so. Had to pay 1 for Shapeshifter. So that'll allow the Edward kill next turn. Falk is going to get Piccolo out of here, which is good. You have to go to Central here and kill Edward immediately before he can ruin your life. If you let Edward stay out, things could get worse. Can't afford the war with Pride because of automail. Can put a war there, though, for 3. Gonna play Greed for 2, actually, to keep Pride alive. And gets a power back from Lust. And gets Edward out of there. Oh, can't shuffle in Greed because you played Shapeshifter last turn. I don't know what fates are in here, but I don't think they're very strong ones. Yeah, Edward getting handled that quickly probably still means this is over, especially because 18 is in a horrible position for Falk. I see a Time Chamber to shuffle back in Absorb. Yeah. Special Beam, actually. More worried about being able to keep Arena open. It's the only way he can win is a Fate Storm. Alphonse and Gate of Truth. Alphonse is pretty good here. Probably Alphonse to Central City. I mean, Fort Briggs isn't the worst, but I'd probably put him at Central City. Hits Envy and Sloth, not bad. And that'll be his turn. Divitae is just going to go over to Xerxes. Almost has enough power to hard play a war at Xerxes. Yeah, there's the war for 2 at Fort Briggs. And then hard playing Wrath to Xerxes. Oh, it's game, man. Is this yeah, it's Philostone as well. Honestly, I might trigger Philostone right now to get Divinity. Honestly. Throw out an Appeal to Pride and then Fate. Umbra Circle 1 second too late. Automail onto Mustang. Could also put it on Armstrong because he's not dying anytime soon. Divitae is going to go to Lior. Pay 1 for a Shapeshifter and shoot Mustang. You can't do it on what's his face here. Oh, just discarding just for the sake of discarding here? Wants to draw the last war and get the last war. Well, if Falk could pull Edward or Scar to go to Central. Although, yeah, that would move Wrath. That's fine, though. Really needs Edward here, I think. Gonna throw out another, whatchamacallit. Gonna get Scar! Gonna get Scar. That's gonna delay a little bit, and the automail is still out. Gonna move over Pride. You just use Wrath in the kill here either way. And get Scar out of there. And there is an automail out, so this is still a 5-cost war. But Divitae could get it. But Falk just has to jump Fates every single turn. And hope that he draws well. Also, I think Divitae can't afford to do any clashing, because if they play Shapeshifter into like killing Alphons and trigger the Appeal to Prides, it puts 18 back in position. Which Falk definitely doesn't want. Falk's going to get a Cell Jr. over to Gingertown. What? Oh, his mouse just messed up. Going to see Hohenheim here. Honestly, I wouldn't have hated Riza at Xerxes, but nah, Gluttony can easily handle that. Well, this is going to be the last war, so this is probably going to be game. Very quickly here. Yep, there's the war. Now Divitae just has to draw Divinity and it's over. If Falk could snag Gate of Truth here, but I think it might be in the discard, I'm not sure. But if he could snag Gate of Truth here, it's not over. I didn't get it. Umbra Circle last turn would have done him way better. This was such an uphill battle from Falk out the gate. Like, Divitae got 3 perfect Fates in a row, and also the first Fate was double automail. Not only is double automail a Fate that does literally nothing off the top, but it also makes the rest of the Fate deck weaker because you can't threaten putting an automail on a hero if Father doesn't kill every hero as soon as they show up, and that's a really big deal for Father. So it honestly could not have gone. There is no worse Fate at the start that could have possibly happened. We're going to see the Mannequin Soldiers plus Xerxes there to get the kill on Hohenheim so that can force the Philostone activate and get Divinity in hand. Using the ability to put Pride back in. It doesn't matter. May as well, I guess. Gate of Truth here. You have to play Gate of Truth. You have to play Gate of Truth, Falk. If you want any chance, you play Gate of Truth here, bro, but whatever. It doesn't matter. Gate of Truth would have stopped the... Now, Divitae just goes to Xerxes, plays Divinity for 1, and then gets to Clash Winry and blow up the automail Mustang Armstrong location. I don't really blame him, though, because it doesn't matter. This game is over. What a horrible way to be knocked out of tournament arc here. Falk doesn't care. It doesn't matter. Yeah, I mean, you put Edward to Lior. What is happening here? Hello? Oh, you moved Vegeta off of Carnival. What? What is happening? I don't know what's going on, but it doesn't matter. I'm kind of checked out already. The game is over. Divitae goes to Lior, uses ability to kill Alphonse, clashes Edward. And then no matter what Falk draws on the Fate, it's game over. What are you doing? I mean, I guess you can Clash Alphons and then ability. No, this doesn't set up game. Gonna be Trunks to the top Fate. It'll still mostly set up game. It's fine, really. Falk discarded special. Even Falk, I don't think Falk can uncover this. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's hard to care. It's hard to care about the commentary at this point because it's just super over. What an unfortunate way to lose. It really all just comes down to that double auto mail. And then Divitae like drew into Falk's just like don't even play it. He can't uncover the top 8. Fair enough. I feel bad for Falk. What an awful game. What a terrible game. This is maybe one of the worst games we've ever seen in Tournament Arc. One of the worst. There was literally just nothing he could have done. The deck just decided that he lost in every sense of the word here. The double auto mail into Tien at Arena with no playable cards, into Goku, into Vegeta. Like, are you joking me? That's crazy. Crazy. But either way, Divitae wins and gets to move on. So let's go look at the bracket. And so with that unfortunate third game, we will be seeing Divitae move on into the semifinals. Really good first 2 games from the players. A bit of an unfortunate third game, but that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. So we'll see Divitae going up against Dragonfly in the semifinals, and D. Gessner will be against Oscape. So these are our final 4 for this year's tournament arc. Very exciting stuff. Looking forward to seeing who manages to take it all home. And I hope you're all excited to see how the rest of the games play out. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time for more Anime Villainous Tournament Arc 2026. Until then, farewell.